Sorry if you can hear like cooing or whatever in the background. My window's open because it is very warm. Um, but there are birds like right out the window, and they're just chirping away. Crap! I accidentally hit the screen. I was gonna try and say spoilers for the last episode of season 2 of Euphoria because if a certain character dies, um, I know that it's too late, but I'm still gonna try and give you a warning. If you have not seen season 2 of Euphoria, uh, click away, or if you're not gonna watch it, then you can keep watching. But if you're gonna watch Euphoria and you haven't seen the end of season 2 yet, don't watch this video. So now I'm gonna reveal the name of the character who died. Ash, the wee boy. I don't know how old he is in the show, but in real life he's played by a 15-year-old. And I'm just gonna show a couple bits from his death scene. One, by the way, I literally just finished it. Like, I haven't even finished the episode yet. I have 20 minutes and 9 seconds left in the episode. I just saw it, sent a message to my friend who told me he died because I didn't believe her. And yeah. So it was made clear, I think, in the first episode of season 2 that the reason why Ash is the way that he is because of Fez's granny. Because Fez's granny was a gangster who, as like not a payment but like a insurance thing, was given this baby for a job or something like that. Um, and she wasn't like covering up her gangster side in front of the baby. Like, she'd be swearing, murdering, uh, probably not doing drugs, but all that really bad stuff in front of the baby. Um, and when you're doing stuff like that, that desensitizes the baby to it. And when it's a baby, it perceives it as normal. Not doing that would be not normal to him. And he eventually got the name Ashtray because he ate one of the granny cigarettes, or at least attempted to eat it before the granny pulled it out. And I was like, "Ha, you're a human ashtray." The reason why I'm saying this is because I want to like try and this is sort of a breakdown about if it's Ash's fault, Fez's granny's fault, or the police's fault, and all three of them are guilty in some way because the problem with modern television is that it's all about bad characters. Like, and I don't mean terribly written characters. I mean characters who are not good people. Because, like, despite the fact that I know that Ash is a bad person, I was still sort of heartbroken by his death. I didn't cry over it. I'm not like a person to cry over it or anything. Although, just talking about it's forming tears in my eyes. Anyway, because like Squid Game was the same thing. Because for most of the characters, they are in debt because of it's their fault that they are in debt. Like the main guy, I don't remember the names, so 456 was a gambling addict. That's why he was in debt. So because he is the protagonist, the audience has sympathy towards him. But even as a non-protagonist, the audience has sympathy towards him. As a non-protagonist, you should not have sympathy towards 4, 5, 6, nor should you have some sympathy towards Ash, because they are bad people. And what I mean by as a non-protagonist, that in fact I don't even know what I'm talking about. I guess that, like, if you've seen something and there's a heartbreaking scene in it, you get heartbroken when you see it, but then every other time you see it, it's not heartbreaking at all. Like, I've replayed the Walking Dead games multiple times, and only on my first playthrough do I care about Clementine, and everyone else. Every other time I play it, I don't care. I just hit whatever choices. And that's what I mean. You're being, and I'm not talking about like rewatching Euphoria or Squid Game or anything like that, but just, you binge the show and you start writing articles about, like, I know I'm getting off point, but yeah. And even the North Korean government was like, this show is good because it is a criticism of capitalism. I'm going to assume that is the writer's purpose, but, like, the thing is that it, if that was the writer's intention, he didn't go about it a good way. Not to say that Squid Game is a bad show, but, like, as I said, it's their fault that they are in debt. It's not the fault of the system. But anyway, so what starts the shootout? Oh, I forgot that I don't double speed. Hold on. There. So they set off a flashbang for no reason, and it's because of that loud noise and that bang. Ash is like, oh crap, bang, because he is a child. And this is not his first time murdering, but first time of something in this extent, I guess. So yeah, Ash shot first, but it is the police's fault for unnecessarily flashbanging. Like, the police riddling the door with bullets like that, that's fine. Like, that's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's how it's supposed to work. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but in English, that day when we were talking about George Foreman, if you remember that, everyone was in the class going, "Oh, I went to America. I know. My parents were. Their car was stopped by the police, and the police were like shouting at us for nothing." And the cops are all this. No, they are doing their jobs. Like, I get that it's scary, but, like, it's a necessary evil. I'm sorry to say that, but it is. Also, I should have mentioned this at the very start, but, like, it's shown at the start of season 2 that Ash is, like, they say that violence should be a last resort only. For Ash, it's his first resort, because while the scene does start at the end of season 1, he actually murders the drug supplier guy. I don't remember his name, I'm sorry. He murders him at the start of season 2 for no reason. And that's not, like, bad writing. Like, there was a point to him doing it. And the point was that he doesn't know any other option. He thinks that, Fez is being shouted at. That must mean that the supplier is about to murder Fez. Better murder him first. And that's what happens. And the same thing happened when he murdered Mousetrap, I think the guy's name is. And then it's the same thing here. I have no problem showing that somewhat short clip because this is criticism. This is a review. This falls under fair use. So, I get that they're trying to build suspense by having it all slow like that, and I don't mean slow motion, I just mean actually slow, because in real life, as soon as he fired that shot, the police would have went haywire, shooting all over the place. But in that, it was just bang, cop falls, then the police take a couple seconds to realize, oh crap, my mate has died, and then slowly raise the gun up to the boy's head, and then bang. I feel like it would have been better having it more realistic than trying to be all dramatic to create suspense. Yeah. So, who is at fault? Fez's mum. Sorry, Fez's granny. For being a... can I find a word? I'm going to call her a prick. She has no... I was going to say no right. That's not correct. I'm going to say no moral authority to be raising a child. Like, it's her fault that Ash died. She would have been better off dropping him off at an orphanage or something like that. And I get that's terrible, but like as I said, even if the boy was never adopted, he would have been off. You know, he would have been more successful and more alive if that happened, rather than being with Fez and Fez's granny. It's not unrealistic writing to have a, however, year-old to be like that, because believe it or not, there are child soldiers. Maybe not in America. I know that this is a, they're not soldiers, but children doing stuff like this happens all the time.